Homebuyer Workshop. And on behalf of the San Diego Housing Commission Achievement Academy, we want to give you the warmest of welcome and thank you for joining us today. Today we have a special treat. We have a special guest from the San Diego Habitat for Humanity who will talk to you about their programs, about their services and resources, and how you could consider their unique way of becoming a homeowner. Juanita and I, in last year, we planned workshops to help potential first-time homebuyers achieve home ownership, and a lot of the resources that we'll touch on are real attainable types of specialized programs. So at any point in time, if you have direct questions as to your personal set of circumstances, definitely reach out to Juanita. If you have questions throughout the webinar, send them through the chat message, and we'll be sure to address all your questions as well. And of course, any feedback that you have, let's just say that you're interested in a particular subject, a particular topic, or you would like to maybe learn a little bit more on certain types of programs or services, definitely reach out to Juanita, and the great staff of the Achievement Academy will work to make sure that we create a webinar that's possible. So a little bit about myself. My name is Sergio. I'm part of Citibank, and my role within the bank to support home ownership is to help families and individuals to achieve home ownership. One of the things that we always love to touch on is fair lending, and not to give you a whole presentation on this, but just know that whenever you apply for a mortgage loan application, financial aspects is what determines your capacity, right? So your income, your credit, your history, and of course, these are some of the things that we can expand on in other webinars. But what I really want to hit hard on today is know that your race, your ethnicity, your gender, your income sources do not have a decision on the outcome of the application. So essentially, fair lending helps protect certain classes so that whenever you are ready and are applying for a mortgage loan application, only the true factors that are financial factors play a role in the decision making. But with that, we'll now introduce you to our special guest today. Shayna Hensley is a director of homeowner relations. And with that, Shayna, we have a good crowd today, and you can take it from here. Welcome, Shayna.
Thank you, Sergio and Juanita, for having me today, and it's nice to see everyone. As Sergio said, I'm with Habitat for Humanity, and I'm going to go through just some information about who we are and what we do. And at the end of this brief presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to send them through the chat, and I'll be sure to answer all of your questions. And thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and start, and we can go to the next slide.
I think Juanita is in the driver's seat.
Can you see it? Can you see the new? I switched it. Can you see it?
Yes, but it's on the smaller side of the screen.
Okay, because somebody told me that I needed to switch it over. So let me.
I think we switch it.
Swap. Is that better?
Ooh, thanks, Juanita. Yes, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, so just a little bit about who we are. We build and repair homes in partnership with families in need of improved housing. We perform our mission through donations of funding, material, and volunteer labor. We provide access to homeownership through no-profit affordable mortgages. We are a nonprofit Christian housing ministry, and we partner with families of all faiths or of no faith. And we've been serving San Diego County since 1987. We can go to the next slide. So how does it work? The first thing is future homeowners, they qualify to purchase a home. And then the homeowners and volunteers work side by side to build the home. And then the mortgage payments that the homeowners make actually create a revolving fund that helps to build even more homes. The minimum application requirements, we're looking to see that the applicants are citizens or legal residents, that they are first-time home buyers. And so our definition of a first-time home buyer is either someone who has never owned a home before, or if they have owned a home before, we're looking to see that they sold the home 3 years ago or more. And also if the applicant owns a mobile home, that doesn't count. So you would still qualify as a first-time home buyer if you own a mobile home. And if you have declared bankruptcy before, that's okay. We're just looking to see that it was discharged at least 2 years ago. Our homeowner selection criteria, we're looking for 3 things. The first is a need for improved housing. The second is a willingness to partner with Habitat. And the third is an ability to pay the affordable monthly mortgage. So the first, the demonstrated need for improved housing. When an applicant applies, there is a place on the application to explain why owning a home through Habitat would be a step up for the family. And by family, that can be a family size of 1 to a family size of many people. So when you hear me say the word family, that includes a family size of 1. Oh, and thank you for your question. I'll be sure to get to that in a moment. Examples of demonstrated need for improved housing. We're looking for perhaps you live in a place with overcrowded living conditions, or a rental unit that is poorly maintained by the management, or you're paying more than 50% of your gross monthly income. These are just some examples. If you have a different example of why you have a need for improved housing, you'll be able to put that on your application. The second piece is a willingness to partner with Habitat. So each adult applicant is required to complete 250 hours of what we call sweat equity. And 25% of those hours can be completed by family and friends. Many of these hours are completed on the construction site. You do not need to have any experience with construction. We have a construction team who would train you on painting, roofing, laying down tile, many different things. Yes, so 25% of those hours can be done by your family, friends, coworkers. And I want you to know too that during this time of the pandemic, we do have safe ways to volunteer. Not only are there safe ways to volunteer on our construction site, but also we have something called the Restore, which maybe some of you have heard of. It's a home improvement warehouse where we sell things at an affordable price. We've got 4: Carlsbad, Escondido, Kearney Mesa, and National City. You can buy furniture there and appliances, and this is another place you could volunteer. We're also looking to see that you would be willing to attend a homebuyer education class, which can be the homebuyer education class is usually on a Saturday. And so if you work full time, we have opportunities for you after work hours on the weekend. We know many people work full time, so we would want to work with your schedule. And then the final piece is we're looking to see that the applicants would be willing to be an active member of the Homeowners Association. So the Homeowners Association is a collection of all of the homeowners that we sell the homes to, and we're looking to see that they would be willing to come together to talk about issues that come up in the neighborhood, problem solve, that sort of thing. And then the third piece is the ability to pay the monthly mortgage. So you're going to see the income guidelines in just a moment. We're looking to see that your income falls within our income guidelines and has for the past 3 years. The type of income that we're able to look at would be employment pay and any sort of public assistance, which will continue for at least 3 years. So for example, if you or someone in your household is receiving Social Security or permanent disability, we're able to include this. Also child support, spousal support, those sorts of things. And the sources of income that do not qualify would include temporary disability, unemployment, or cash payments that are not declared on a tax return. One thing I do want to note is that after you purchase your home, we're not going to be looking at your income again. So sometimes people have a fear of, you know, oh, if I buy a Habitat home and in 5 or 10 years, if I earn more money, are you going to increase my payment? No, after we sell you the home, we're not going to be looking at your income. So the idea with Habitat is to provide you with an affordable monthly mortgage payment, and that as you see an income increase, that we're able to, you're able to use that money for your family's benefit rather than it going towards housing. And again, I'm seeing some really, really good questions in the chat, and I'll be sure to answer all of those after the presentation. Your debt to income ratio. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the minimum debt payments that you make. So let's say you have a $5,000 credit card payment and you pay $125 each month. We're going to add up all of those minimum payments, and we're looking to see that all of the minimum payments are 15% of your income or less. If you're not sure what your debt to income ratio is, you can definitely contact me. I'd be happy to help you with that. We look at car payments, credit cards, student loans, that sort of thing, not insurance or groceries or that sort of thing. And if you are finding now that your income or your debt is higher than 15%, the Housing Commission, you know, through Juanita, there are resources for working on lowering your debt so that, you know, let's say you don't qualify for a Habitat home right this moment, we can work with you to get you to the place where hopefully you would qualify in the future. So the monthly payment will not be greater than 1/3 of your household's gross monthly income, and it will include your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and homeowner association fees. So for example, a household earning $5,000 a month would have a payment no greater than $1,600 and I think that says, let me see, $67. So basically, one of the advantages of Habitat is we're really going to make sure that the monthly payment is something that you can manage and not something that you're going to see a great change in the years. And the monthly payment that is 1/3 of your income or less does include a homeowners association fee, the insurance, the taxes, the mortgage. It's all in that one payment. And then your mortgage term will be set between 15 and 30 years, depending on your income. Here are the income guidelines. So let's say you're a family size of 4. we're looking to see that your income falls between 57,750 and 92,400. And again, we're looking to see that your income is currently within the minimum and the maximum. We will use your income to determine your monthly payment, but once the home is sold to you, we're not going to look at your income again. Next, I'd like to show you our recently completed projects. So we have some homes we've built in Imperial Beach, in El Cajon, in Escondido, and in Logan Heights. So as you can see, we build all over the county. Then next, I'd like to go into the communities that we are currently looking for families for. So we're actually going to be building 2 homes in Encinitas. Construction has already started. And Juanita, if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide, I can give you guys a little bit of information about these homes. So the homes are located on Lucadia Boulevard. Construction will actually be complete this spring. And so we are soon going to be having a homeownership orientation. At the end, I will be providing you with my email address. And if you want to email me, I can send you the link to sign up for our online orientation. One of the homes is going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family detached home with 1,440 square feet, 2 stories, 2-car garage, and a private yard. And the other home will be a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family detached home with 1,734 square feet, a 2-car garage, and a private yard. So probably at the beginning of February, we're going to hold our virtual orientation. So what you want to do now is at the end of my presentation, email me so I can add you to our mailing list, and we'll let you know when we have that virtual orientation. And then we're excited, we're also building 6 homes in National City. Some of you might not live in North County or might be more interested in the National City area. And so the next slide has some information about the National City homes. So there'll be 6 homes. They're going to be 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, single-family homes, 1,450 square feet, 2 stories, a 1-car garage, and a private yard. So we haven't started looking for the families for these homes yet, but we will soon. So again, you want to contact me, get on our mailing list, and as soon as we do start looking for families for those homes, we'll let you know. And we also plan to build in San Diego, in Escondido, in Lemon Grove. So we have some future homes coming up too after these. And then next, I'd like to go over our homeowner selection process. So the first step is to attend the virtual homeownership orientation. Then you will submit your application within 1 week. We're going to look at your income and credit, and you will receive notification within 30 days regarding the next step. 1 to 2 weeks after notification, the qualifying applicants will be selected for a home visit by members of the Homeowner Selection Committee. The Homeowner Selection Committee will then review the applications and recommend families for approval by our Board of Directors. And then the Board of Directors would make the final decision. So the whole process is a couple-month process, and I am your contact at Habitat to help you through the process. And so if you have any questions, and then here you can see my email. So you might want to write down my email address. And if you're interested in learning more, if you have, I'm gonna be happy to answer any questions that you put in the chat. But if you have a personal situation, maybe you don't feel comfortable putting in the chat, you can email me and we can talk one-on-one about that. But also this email address is how you can get in touch with me to be added to our mailing list. So I thank you so much for listening. And whenever, Juanita, you're ready with the questions, I'm ready.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Sergio, were you keeping track of the questions, or do you want me to just go back and start asking them?
No, if you can go back, Juanita, I don't have access to the chat feature. I do
Got it.
apologize for that.
So the first one is, it's asking about, I thought I saw something on somebody who had, I submitted my application on the main Habitat website. The email
Perfect.
received was waiting to hear from someone on the orientation date.
Okay, great. So if you have gone to our website and clicked on notify me when the next orientation is scheduled, and you've entered your name, phone number, email, and address, then you have done the perfect thing. And you're going to be notified when we schedule our Encinitas orientation, when we schedule our National City orientation. So if you've already done that, and you probably got a response from Habitat saying, thank you for submitting this form, then you're perfect. You've done everything you need to do.
The next one is the minimum credit score required.
Yes. When we are working with certain cities, let's say we did a project in Logan Heights where we actually partnered with the Housing Commission. And so when we partnered with the Housing Commission, the homes had a 640 minimum credit score. Sometimes when we are working with another city, they might not have a requirement, or maybe Habitat isn't partnering with a city. So it varies for each of the different communities. So that's going to vary. And when you sign up on our mailing list, to be added to our mailing list, and when we do that homeownership orientation, you'll see if, in addition to the criteria that you saw today, if there's anything additional like a credit score, we'll definitely let you know. And some people do not know what their credit score is. Let's say, we have a future project in San Diego and we work with the Housing Commission, and there is that 640 credit score. And you're like, oh, I'm not sure what my credit score is. You can apply and we will run your credit. And if for some reason, let's say it's lower than 640, then we want to give you resources on how to bring that credit score up so that you might qualify in the future.
And just as an FYI, we do run credit scores for people and help them increase their credit score if that's what they need to do. They just have to reach out to us, and then we'll help them with that.
Awesome.
So this is a question regarding the volunteer component. So a friend or family can volunteer for me. What if I work full-time? How can I volunteer?
Yes. So yes, friends, family, coworkers can do up to 25% of your hours. And let's say Monday through Friday, we work full-time, or you work full-time, I work full-time. We have different opportunities. There are things on the weekend. There are things in the evenings. We're going to work with you. I would say the majority of the families that I work with, they work full time, and often, both spouses work full time. So we're always going to work with you, and we're going to work with your schedule. The only thing we're looking for is a willingness to complete those hours to the best of your ability.
Perfect. So there is a question here on a special case. Regarding first-time home buying and wondering if they qualify. Apparently, they owned a home with an ex-husband. Okay. He has a new wife, but he never refinanced the home, so her name still appears on the loan.
Yes, this is one of those situations where I would say to email me, and I can work with you, and we can see if you qualify. There are circumstances where you do count as a first-time home buyer if you're what's called a displaced homemaker. There's some different qualifications to that first-time home buyer. So I would want to talk with you and hear more about what your current situation is. And so please, if you wrote down my email, or we'll have it up again, reach out to me and we can work through that. But thankfully there are some ways we can kind of work through that, because I understand that situation, and you're not the only one who is either currently in it or has been in it before.
Perfect. And they're asking if this is, sorry, Sergio, go on.
No, sorry, Juanita. Along the same lines, with that same question, right? There was a divorce. and if your name was still left on that other mortgage or that other house, typically down payment assistance programs, which are slightly different than the program that Shayna is talking about. But as long as you're not recording or deducting the interest on the mortgage in your tax returns for the past 3 years, then technically that could also qualify you as a first-time home buyer. But Shayna hit hard her point on displaced homeowner. That's in lending terms that would qualify someone to be a first-time home buyer as well. So yes, just wanted to add those two.
Thank you, Sergio.
Perfect. And so they're also asking if this is an HOA program.
Yeah, so the HOA Homeowner Association, some of our communities have a homeowners association, like, for example, we just finished 11 homes in Logan Heights. There is a homeowners association made up of the 11 homeowners, and it's already part of their monthly payment. And actually the families, we have a budgeted amount for the homeowners association, which I believe right now is, just so you can have an idea, is $300 per month, which is included in that monthly payment. But once we sell the homes, which we have to all 11, that was a budgeted amount that that we came up with to make sure all the costs were taken care of. But the homeowners can work together to see, do we find a more affordable landscaper? Or what are the ways we can reduce that HOA? So, sometimes people hear about they're buying a home in a community of 500 homes and the HOA is, $700 a month. It's not like that at Habitat. It's we build communities between, 2 homes to the most I think we've done is 20. And so you're going to know all the homeowners, and the monthly payment is really, once we sell the homes, going to be more in the control of the homeowners.
Perfect. So they're asking if VA disability compensation benefits qualify for income.
Yes, for sure. Anything that we can see that will continue for the next 3 years. So often with those disability ratings, it's my understanding is it's a permanent income. So definitely.
Perfect. And then they're asking if the benefits of Habitat for Humanity is only applicable to properties chosen by Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, so the way that we work, we're a little unique in that we work with cities a lot of the times to find vacant pieces of land, and then we build the homes there, and then we're able to identify the families and sell them at an affordable price. So that's a very good question, and that is kind of how our program's a little bit different. So that's why if you're on our mailing list, you're going to get notified of the Encinitas project. And if you're thinking to yourself, I'm not interested in Encinitas, then you don't have to attend that orientation, but you would stay on our mailing list. And then when there is an orientation that interests you, then you would attend that one.
Perfect. And this person is indicating that they have a house that they want to buy. The owner offered to sell it to them, but they want assistance to buy the home.
Got you. So that I think, and Sergio, correct me if I'm wrong, is something that maybe Citibank would be able to help with in terms of if you find a home that you're interested in. Habitat is more, we build our set amount of homes and its set locations, and then find homeowners for those homes.
Thank you, Shayna. Yes, absolutely. A lender, perhaps also one of the approved lenders under the San Diego Housing Commission's down payment assistance program, assuming that the house is in San Diego, that would be another avenue to consider, where you could potentially use the down payment assistance program from the city or the county of San Diego to purchase that house if it's being sold by the owner. So that's also a great opportunity.
We know that, there are multiple ways to buy a home in San Diego. And what I really appreciate about Sergio and Juanita is, I appreciate them having me today so that you guys know this is just another way. It's good, I think, for you as potential homeowners to know, how can I buy a home in San Diego? And let me learn about all of the options, and then let me move forward with the ones that are of interest to me. So definitely, it's so good to learn and to figure out what it is you're looking for, and who you could partner with to bring that dream of homeownership about.
So right. For those of you that are looking for different types of programs, there are all types that we can help refer you to. But Sergio was right when he indicated that you could go to our San Diego Housing Commission website and go under first-time home buyers, and you'll see a slew of different providers there, lenders, all kinds of information, and the down payment assistance program that we also offer. As for the other question, I'm just going to answer this one, Shane, if you don't mind. This is for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Do the homes have to be upgraded? Can we choose our own? And the answer is no. You're building these homes. They're brand new homes that you're building and then qualifying somebody to move into, correct?
Correct.
Once you purchase a home, will you have to stay there until you pay it off?
Oh, you can sell it at any time.
Is the home already chosen for the program? I think we just answered that as well, correct?
Correct.
And what is the minimum income again? Somebody asked. And it depends on the size of the household, right?
It does, yes. And we can go back to that slide, or when you email me, I'll make sure that you have access to our income guidelines.
Perfect. I can also send a copy of the recording to everyone so they can have that information there if they choose to.
Perfect. Thank you, Juanita.
And that is asking below is, will we get a copy of the slides? Yes, you will. And let's see. So this is just somebody saying, I never thought I could buy a home. These are goals of mine. Thank you so much for the information. So even though my income doesn't qualify me, could I still attend orientation or should I wait?
Yes, that's what we need in life. We need to know, okay, in whatever goal we have, to know, like, for example, buying a home in San Diego is so expensive. And knowing that you could buy a home through Habitat with a monthly payment that wouldn't be greater than a third of your income, it's a really good goal to have. It's a really possible, real goal. And so please attend our orientation, work with Juanita. If you have, credit issues to work through, like, we want to be here to help you. We want you to own a home. So yes, definitely attend the orientation.
Yes, please. I mean, just listening to for $5,000 of income, your payment is going to be about $1,667. I mean, that's less than rents for a 3-bedroom here in San Diego. Reaching your goals is just increasing your income. That's basically what we're saying to you. Increase your income and reduce your debt, and you've got a good chance. Okay. So does child support count as qualified income?
Yes.
So does the employment have to be consecutive for 3 years? I'm at a community college. I have 3 years of employment, but it varies.
That's okay. I think what they're saying is if you have, let's say you have 3 different jobs, or you've had 3 different jobs over the past 3 years, or if we can see that your income maybe wasn't within the guidelines 3 years ago, but every year since 3 years ago, it's gone up, those are the situations we'll take into consideration.
And the pandemic as well, right? And the reduction of hours recently.
Yes.
Perfect.
We want to do our best to qualify families. And if we cannot qualify them, then we want to let them know why and give them resources so that they will be qualified in the future.
Perfect. They're asking me for your email again, so I'll put it in at the end before we close out.
Perfect.
Do you offer to take care of kids, or can I bring them to help if I have no one to watch them?
That's a great question. There are some things that your kids can help with, like we have volunteer orientations. And this is all before the pandemic. So we're working through safe ways for people to volunteer, but we're going to continue looking for that. We used to have, before the pandemic, these volunteer orientations for people in the community who would just want to volunteer with Habitat. A family might come and bring their little kids, to speak about their experience. And so if you have kids and you don't have access to childcare, we want to work with you to find ways that you can volunteer. So we're never going to hold your personal circumstances against you. We're just going to see, what are you able to do? given your, current situation? What are you able to do, and are you willing to partner to the best of your ability?
I just put in your email so that they have it in
Thank
case
you.
they need it. And they were asking about bankruptcy.
Yes. So bankruptcy is fine. We're just looking to see that it was discharged 2 years ago or more.
Oh, and they're asking, can I please have Sergio's contact information? So you can type it in the chat, Sergio, that would be great.
Thank you, Juanita. I don't have access to the chat, and that's more of the
Okay.
computer that I use through work. It's got some.
I'll send it to everyone.
limitations, but
When I
yeah,
send the recording, I'll send out the email for Sergio as well.
perfect.
And could I always present my bank statements that show income coming in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, some people are self-employed, so we're able to work with you if you're self-employed. There's a way we can calculate income. Yes.
Okay. And again, I'll send for those that are asking for the website, when I send out the recording, you'll have the website there to look at the
Awesome.
homes. And would the Encinitas or National City be an HOA?
I don't believe either of those will have an HOA.
Okay. So somebody's asking for information. They just logged in. If me and my spouse file bankruptcy, do we have to wait 2 years? I think you just answered that.
Yeah, the bankruptcy needs to be discharged 2 years ago or more. So you could just, 2 years goes by so quickly. If you wanted to get on our mailing list, hear more about us, it goes by so quickly. So I would encourage you to start the process.
Right. And then it's saying here, is the price of the home based on our income or just the payment?
That's a great question. So the price of the home is based on the appraisal. So let's say that, let me give you an example of the homes we just sold in Logan Heights. Maybe the home's appraised for $400,000 and the family can afford to pay $330,000. But, if they paid any more than $330,000, their payment would be greater than a third of their income. So actually what we did is we used the Housing Commission's $70,000 in down payment assistance, which helps several of our home buyers in Logan Heights to purchase the home worth $400,000. So the home is sold to you based on the appraised value, but what you pay each month is what you can afford. And if there's any difference between the appraisal and what you can afford, there's a variety of things we can do. There's different types of down payment assistance. There's the Housing Commission. There's, if anybody has heard of the WISH loan, affordable AHP, Affordable Housing Program loan. There's different ways we can do it. So don't worry. We if you qualify, we help you make up that gap.
Perfect. So a lot of the questions that are here, you've already answered. I'm just gonna say them so that people know that we acknowledge them, but I think they've been answered already. Whatever your income is lower than it shows, you've answered that. The list of homes is going to be on the website. And if we apply in San Diego, then move, would we need to reapply in a different state?
Oh, that's a good question. Yes. Yeah. Each habitat is their own company. So yeah, it wouldn't be like transferring home ownership. That's a good question.
Perfect. And the monthly payment, you already talked about that. This one is just saying a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. Could you please let me know if a DREAM Act resident can qualify for the project?
Let's see, DREAM Act. Is that the...
That's the people that, those are individuals that were brought to the United States. And,
yes. I hear what you're saying. You know what? That is a great question. Can you email me with that question? And I'm going to look into that and get right back to you.
That is a wonderful question. So how long will this program last? I may not be ready. Okay, so you're always purchasing new properties and building new.
Yes. We've been around since the, goodness, I think it was the end of the 70s or the early 80s. And so we've been around for a long time. We plan, I mean, there's such a great need for affordable home ownership. So we plan to be around, you know, for a long time.
Right. And then they're asking about the orientation, which is different than this one.
Yeah, it'll be very similar. You guys who have heard today's, it's very, very similar, but I'll just be making it project specific. So in February, I'm going to do the Encinitas orientation, and it'll just cover the Encinitas project. And then the difference is that you'll have access to an application after listening to it, but you kind of got a sneak peek today by listening.
So how can you buy a home for a single individual?
All you need to do is be within those income guidelines for one person. So a family is anyone beside, you know, from one family size of one up.
Perfect. And you'd already answered the down payment program, what the San Diego Housing Commission does work with Habitat.
We've already had a successful partnership with our community in Logan Heights.
Perfect. And then again, you've already answered how long the process usually takes to qualify, which you said it was about, a couple months. And how often do the income guidelines get updated? I believe it's annually, right?
Yeah, about every February, March, or April. So they usually go up a little bit.
So yeah, and they're asking about the credit, and we already talked about that, and they can contact us to help them build it up. And amazing empowerment and support. Thank you. Is the program only for the San Diego Housing Commission residents? And that's a no. It's for anyone.
Anyone in San Diego County, yeah. So from Oceanside to Imperial Beach.
And they keep asking the same question, and I think we've already answered it. Do single students qualify for the program? And we've said yes, correct?
Correct.
And does the payment zero interest, and how long does payment include zero interest, and how long? 30 years? So I think you've answered that as well, right?
Yes, for the National City and Encinitas homes, it will be 0% interest, which is incredible and you can't find anywhere else. So that's an awesome option and opportunity. So that's why I would encourage you to definitely apply.
Perfect. And then again, they're asking about the website, which we will send them with the recording.
Great.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited about this program. Can I get information from the website? Well, again, we've said that if after 5 years my family gets bigger, can I rent the home and move to another bigger home?
That's a great question. So our whole goal is to help people with affordable home ownership. And so if at any point you would not be living in the home, then we would ask that you sell so that we can find another family to sell the home to.
Perfect. That's nice. Would SSI income be considered as a qualifying income?
Yes.
And so we were already talking, you said you were going to ask, do they need to have a social security number? And we've already said you're going to check that.
Yes.
Do you have to pay any of the funds back? I'm not sure what funds they're talking about.
So it with the Habitat loan, you're paying that over usually 30 years. Let's say the down payment assistance with the San Diego Housing Commission's down payment assistance. Yes, that is due at year 30 or when you sell your home. There are other types of down payment assistance. I mentioned there's a type called the WISH, the Affordable Housing Program. There are others that if you live there for 5 years, you don't have to pay back. So there's really a variety of options out there. And what we do is we look to see if there is a gap between what you can afford to pay and the appraised value of the home. We look to see what funds are available to make up that gap. So sometimes, yeah, you do pay the down payment assistance back. And what I always say is when people apply, before, it's going to be anywhere from 6 months to a year often before the homes are finished. And so I will make sure you understand, what your loans will be, what you'll be signing. We don't want there to be any confusion at all.
Perfect. And they're asking about the orientation, which you indicated they had to go on the website and sign up for to get
Yes.
the orientation dates.
Yes.
As a reminder to everyone, when I sent out the link for this meeting, I also included the flyer that Shayna sent. And on that flyer, you will have both the link and you will also have the website information, and you will have a number of other very important informations on there on how to apply. So just look at the how you connect it, and you'll see the attached flyer there as well. Okay, folks? Link to apply, can you paste it to, okay. So it looks like those are all the questions. I don't see any others at this point. Did I miss somebody? Did I miss a question?
You're not doing your job.
And I'm sorry, but for those of you that are talking over us, we're just trying to mute you. I don't mean to be mean. It's just, I want everybody to be able to hear what we're talking about here. And let's see. So Sergio's information again on the bank. So again, we will be sending out to everyone that attended the workshop today, the recording, the flyer, and the emails for Sergio and for Shayna, so that everyone has all of that information in case you need it for your home ownership purchasing trek and your achievement of dreams. We look forward to you reaching out to Shayna, and I hope and pray that you make it to the steps of your home ownership dreams.
Me too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Juanita, before we end the webinar, I just wanted to just mention a couple things. I know there were questions around income guidelines. Know that every program has slightly different income guidelines. So for instance, in case that you've checked with, say, the San Diego Housing Commission's program, if for some reason you're not eligible for that particular program, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be eligible for other programs. So just know that it's not that the process is complicated, but in a sense, it's not the most easiest of things to understand income guidelines, but know that every program has slightly different eligibility criteria. The other thing I want to mention is I heard a couple of questions around the deferred action for childhood arrivals, the DACA. Recently, FHA announced that they would be backing up loans, insurance loans for lenders that would lend to DACA recipients. So that's going to be a very trendy topic going forward, just because it opens up the opportunity for home ownership through specialized programs. So FHA is different than what we just discussed today, but nonetheless, it's an opportunity for families and individuals to be able to become homeowners with very, very little down payment. And with that, Shayna, I have one last question for you. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Shayna, ¿podemos tener este taller en español en el futuro?
Sí, yo hablo español y yo estoy muy contento. Si ustedes quieren tener la orientación en español, estoy aquí. Tengo un acento. Puedo hablar, pero tengo un acento.
Wonderful. You did that. Oh, that's so good.
Oh,
Then we're going to go ahead and schedule. Vamos a hacer uno en español. We're going to schedule one in Spanish.
Ok, perfecto. Estoy contento.
Great presentation, Shayna. Again, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I hope this was informative to each and every one of you. I know it was to me. And I appreciate that you were given this opportunity to hear about this wonderful program. I hope you take advantage of it. 0% interest, folks. It's unheard of. So hopefully we can get you into these programs. If you need help with the credit or with anything else, reach out to us. Okay? You have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.